Hello guys, here's Andy speaking. Please let me quickly know in the chat if you can hear me. Are you guys here? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Yes, perfect. Thanks, Patrick. All right. Guys, how you doing? Welcome to the next webinar again. We're going to do a live Luxon showroom tour, and I'm going to be your host, Andy, and my lovely colleague, Jess.
Yes, yeah. So I'm both part of our international sales team here at Luxon. So we will deal with all of you guys that are located across the world. And so, yeah, tonight, as Andy has said, this is our Luxon showroom tour. And so this is really geared towards our end customers. So really to show you what is this topic of smart home is. So maybe though, right before we begin though, maybe we just see if everyone's able to use the chat function. So this is a function we might use during the night. Maybe you have a question about something you see and you just give us a quick question and we can answer it throughout the tour.
Yeah, after
or maybe you just say hi for now.
Sure.
Or if
that's
you're, yeah, hi, but that's good for now.
Maybe after every topic, I'll just have a quick look if you have a question and then I can answer it right away, or later on after the webinar, we're going to do a quick Q&A session. So if you have anything that's off the topic, then just save it for later. Stay till the end and then we can talk about it as well.
Is anyone there?
Patrick, already let us know.
Yes. Okay.
Guys, type something in the chat if you're here. Okay. Hey, Peter from Oostella, Vietnam. Hey, Peter. Great to hear from you again. Cool.
Cool. All right, then we can get started.
Yeah.
So with this topic of smart home and automation, really what does this mean? And so really what we see so much in the media is that you have a different app now for the audio and a different app for the security and the lighting. And I mean, now the phone is filled with 10, 15 different applications. And for us, this is really such a smart, innovative solution. So throughout the tour tonight, you'll see why here at Luxon, we really believe we found the perfect, harmonious, integrated solution, really bringing all of these different topics together. So with lighting, HVAC and climate control, security, access, shading, and audio, and we'll show you really how this is the solution you'll need in your home or that you need to install. All right then, so with that, I think we can begin.
Of course.
So maybe we start here, we take a look over here at our touch surface. So this is really our most beautiful product that you will never really touch, but maybe we'll touch it a bit tonight, yeah? And so if we take first maybe a look around this whole space, so this is a really quite a nice space we have here. We have the living room, the kitchen, dining room, really quite nicely designed. And so with all of these, if we take a look now at the ceiling, and we see all of these lights and everything, what would we usually have then across the walls if we were to have so many different lights? What would we have that we would need to use?
Well, we can install multiple things, right? We can install spots and LED stripes.
Yeah.
We can do a lot of it.
Yeah. And so if we're not so lucky now to have this Luxon in our house, in the olden days, or maybe we still have this, we would have these little switches that we would press across the wall, so across the room. So then we're turning off the lights here, and then, oh, we need to turn off the light here. Oh, no, I need to turn off the light here. Oh, no, oh, now I need to take a break. Whoa. And this is just in this tight space. So we've really found a solution where you can control everything in this room with this touch. So not just the lights in this room, but we can also do the shading and the audio. And we'll show you just how we can do this. But maybe we start with the lights. So maybe we take another look around in this lovely space. Maybe what would you do in this? Maybe we have the living room here and the kitchen. What sorts of things are you doing over here?
Well, first of all, I'm going to think about cooking, then probably dining. Maybe later on, I'm going to watch TV. So here in the living area, I just want maybe my TV to be a little bit brighter at the back. That looks really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's all personally adjustable. So if you want to have some kind of special lighting scene, that's all possible. You can all save that in the app, change that, and also then control it with a touch. So
yeah, so maybe we show some of these will be our default settings. So what would already come with the software. So now this is kind of our welcome, as Andreas will show you on the app.
I can show you
the welcome. So we like to welcome ourselves with a nice green hue. This is quite nice. Yeah, we bleed this color. And then we give it another tap in the center. So this is where we are controlling the lighting, just to be a bit more specific, in the center diamond. Another tap. And now
it's going to be only cooking. If you have a quick look now, it's in the app, only cooking, and only the kitchen is going to be bright enough.
So we need, I think, a bit more space here. We don't want to chop off any ligaments or anything, and no one else is in the other spaces. So now we can conserve the light there. Another tap. And now we have a bit more.
We have eating. So here the whole indirect lighting is still active. It's still very bright in the room, but yeah, the main focus is of course on the dining table. And we have TV. So here now, hopefully you can see it in the video, we have a little indirect and very dimmed light. It's very atmospheric, only in the living room. So yeah, as I said, these are completely adjustable to your own sakes. So whatever you want, you're pretty much able to set. And this is our solution, how you can walk around or get around those many different touches. You just essentially need one centrally placed one. I mean, here in Austria, this building style where it's like a big open area for like your main living space. You know, you have the living room, you're gonna eat here at the table, you're gonna cook. So when you're gonna come home, you're gonna spend the whole time here. You're not gonna go to the bedroom necessarily. So of course, this is why the wide space, the open areas make it really nice. And with one touch, you can control the whole area. If you put individual touches in the areas, of course, then you can separate them. But with this, it's a perfect solution.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so now, this is the lighting, and now maybe Andre said we're entertaining here, we're having some people over. What's nice when we have some people over? Maybe we like to have, yes. So then we can have the audio, so Andreas will kind of show us a bit more about how we can control this, especially using the app.
I also want to touch it.
Yeah.
So here, as you saw in the middle, this was the lighting. On our left, I'm going to show you, we're going to have the shading. But here on the right side now, on the top right button, on the bottom right button, we have to turn the music on. It's going to take like 2 seconds. And now we have our music running. Earlier, turn on the rock. Make it a little bit louder. Actually going to turn it off just with a double click at the bottom, so we don't get copyright if this ever plays on YouTube. But yeah, with a simple click on the touch, you know, we're going to turn it on. With a double click at the bottom, we can turn it off. And with like two long, or like with a long click on the top and a long click at the bottom, we can make it louder and quieter. It's easy as that. Perfect.
Nice. All right. So then now we've shown you the light we have in the living room, the kind of manufactured light, but maybe we want some natural light. So maybe we can now talk about the shading, and so what this will look like for us here. Looks on with the touch.
Yeah.
And so,
as I already said earlier, the right side's for music, the big part in the middle is for the lights, and now we have the shading. We have it now down, so the easiest thing for me is just to press on top of my shadings. We're going to go upwards. So press the button on the bottom, of course it's going to go down.
And if you take a look, you can see that in the different areas. So this is now all of the shading are going up because we've pressed up, and as well we want the natural light at this time of day. But maybe this is in the morning time and there's too much light in one space. Maybe we want to block this, or we can have this automated so that we can really optimize the lighting. And then also though, maybe, I don't know if many of you have any neighbors. I don't know, maybe you guys, I don't know if there's any millionaires or serial killers in the chat. I mean, I hope not, or maybe to the latter, yeah. But if you do, and you're entertaining, like we've said, I don't think we want always our neighbors peeking in on us and seeing what we're doing. So this is also quite nice that with the shading, you really have this privacy. We can have this night mode where we can keep everything inside. So maybe you have the green lights on and you don't need to worry now about disturbing anyone or anyone seeing your fun, whatever this may be. I'm not here to judge you. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. All right then. So then I think we can.
This is the touch that you have normally in your rooms. There's also a really nice version of it, which I quickly want to show you guys. Here over in the kitchen, of course, a touch don't really works nicely here, just because when you're working, right, when you're cooking, yeah, you don't really can't touch it, right? Because if you have dirty fingers, you don't want to like later clean everything up again. So you can use a touch surface. And we have little lines engraved into the stone here, so I know where to press. And with sliding over this touch point right here, I'm activating now my touch. And as the shadings are going to go down, I can show you that we then can switch on the lights again. So let me just do that. I press in the middle, and now I can switch my lights back and forth. So now when it's a little bit darker, you should see that we have this little orange one. We have those 5 LEDs that are gonna count down. So you have like 5 seconds time to make your touch, or like you make your action. And then afterwards it's just turned off again. I can work on it. I can like put a pot on this. And yeah, when I put it away, if I want to control something, I just switch on it. Boom, easy as that. So this is really cool. Of course, we have on the right side here again the music, and on the left side the shading. That's it. Completely works as the other touch. So you don't, or you're not going to get confused with like, okay, what have I set up on this touch and what have I set up on this touch? However, to be said, if you want, you can program however you want, right? These 5 touch points are completely free to program. So you could make your own special like little solution, but we recommend it to have it the same in every room so you don't get confused. Cool.
Yeah, nice. And so it's really nice when this is activating, because then once the lights are off, it's no more in use. So then if you get water on it, for example, then you don't have to worry about anything turning on. But maybe speaking of water, I know maybe now it's vacation time, we're near the beach, we've gone on holiday, maybe we're in Austria and we've gone to our house in France. I don't know, I don't care, but maybe I can join you next time. But anyways, we've gone to our house in France for the weekend, we've come back, made the long drive back, and now we can see actually on our phone, we've got now a notification that there's a water leakage in the house. You've just got all the kids in the car, everything's packed, you've just got home, and now you've got this notification. Instead of driving like crazy, 8 hours, 9 hours to get home and to now see to the leak, and you hope it's not too bad when you get there in 8 hours time, we can now actually use the app to turn off the water valve. And so now you can still get to the house. I recommend this. But now we can get there, we can turn off the water before we get there, so we can ensure no more water damage is done. And so if we are in the house, this is what we would see when we, if I made it wet, yeah. So this is what it would look like visually within us in the house, and then on the app you would receive the notification.
I just don't get scared. The siren is probably going to turn on in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Otherwise, then for the burglar alarm. Yeah, there it is. So just so you heard what it sounds like, it's quite loud. Hopefully I was said it early enough that like the headphone users don't hate us now because we destroyed the eardrums. But yeah, now I just acknowledge the alarm via the app so that I now maybe I'll give my neighbor a quick call. Hey, can you check if the water leakage is actually real, or was it like a false information, right? And then I can just acknowledge it, or my neighbor is going to take care of him. Also, if you want to be really safe, which is really cool, is you can get a magnetic valve. And when we detect a water leakage, we're just going to close the magnetic valve, and then you have no way to get like a water leakage because the water is turned off. So that's the even safer version if you have the possibility for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
In this case, it's nice to have neighbors.
In this case.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just going to quickly let the shading go down because I want to show you one more thing, which is the burglar alarm. And there it's also nice to see what happens with the shading because, yeah, as Jess earlier said, sometimes it's nice to have neighbors. And one other topic where it's nice is that people want to know what's going on, right? And if in your house the music or like the siren is going to be beeping and the light is going to flashing, they're going to look inside. So if a burglar is trying to get into your house and the locks on, burglar alarm is going to go off. He is going to be in a world of trouble. And also like your neighbors are going to watch inside the room and see what's going on. So how I'm going to do it is I'm just going to go in my app. By the way, app is completely free to download. So if you want to check it out for yourself, just go on our Lock Some Downloads. And I'm going to activate my burglar alarm. I could arm it right now or arm it with a delay. I'm just going to arm it right now. Of course, at the moment. Cool. That was our TTS, so our text-to-speech message. We have just a few like tricks up your sleeve here in the showroom to show you off what we can do. And TTS is, of course, one of the many things our audio server can do. But yeah, now the burglar alarm is active. The motion sensors inside are deactivated, so we can't actually inside of the room don't activate the burglar alarm. But now all our window contacts are still choosing to like activate the burglar alarm. So what happens when I go over here and supposedly open up our door when I'm not supposed to? Same thing applies again, but just now it's the burglar alarm. Maybe you hear our touches clicking. Hopefully the phone is picking me up. There's the lighting. Shading's gonna go up, as I said, in the middle of the night when the light is flashing. People are just gonna look inside, and if the burglar yeah, hopefully you're all awake now. That's the burglar alarm. If that's going on, burglar's gonna have a quick access, I hope.
We hope so, yeah. Cool. All right then.
Cool.
On that note, I think we then can make our way outside. So we can either use in the touch on the wall, or here we can activate it quickly and go, and everything now in the room will go back to our configuration of what we've had before. So now if we take a look over here, this will be our bathroom space. So I've opened the door and we can see now we have this presence. If you take a look up into the light, this light actually is included our presence sensor. So now we take a walk into here and the lights automatically come on. This is also, you can add an audio to also play once it's recognized presence. Maybe more in a commercial space, this is quite nice when you go into the toilet space and the lights come on and the music and everything. It's quite nice. And then maybe if we take a walk over here in one of the favorite rooms, a very Austrian thing, I guess. This is our spa, our sauna room. And so this is quite a nice room because maybe then in Austria, I think everyone knows this is quite known for skiing. Andres loves to ski. So maybe now when he's going to go ski in the winter time, it's been really freezing, blows there, he's frozen out on the slopes and he's maybe 10 minutes from home. And now he can actually on his phone directly turn on the sauna so that now it's at a perfect temperature when he gets in. He just runs in here and stays in here and warms up. This is really quite a nice feature as well, that or a nice kind of demonstration that you can really integrate this technology into any space, any sort of special application. So this is also quite nice. I don't want to be tempted. Maybe we should leave. Yeah. Cool. Now we take a walk over to, I guess, where the real magic is happening. Yeah. Cool.
So maybe this somebody heard it. Also, when we went into the room, the music will start playing. So we can do a number of things here. Right? When we walked into the toilet, only the light was going on, but we can also let the music start playing and stuff like that. This right here is the NFC code touch. It's one of our access options. Also, we have an intercom. But here, this is very nice for like a garage door or maybe like a gate that you want to control. In our case, it's more or less used for like a hotel room. And you could enter your code now here. I have my NFC fob that I'm just using as an NFC reader. I'll hold it on, turns green. After you. And again, maybe the phone's picking up. I don't know how loud it is for you guys, but the music started playing, shading's up. So now we have the full room again to control with our touch nightlight, for example, that you can see here. It's really one of my favorite products actually, because it's at the same time an alarm clock. It's not only a touch, but an alarm clock as well.
Mm-hmm. Oops, lost my shoe. Sorry. Okay, yeah, so maybe then we can talk first about the nightlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a really nice feature, so.
Let me just show you how to control it. We have our normal design again, so you shouldn't be confused how to use it. You remember probably from the main launch again. So let me first of all, let the shadings go down. Maybe somebody thought, why did you touch twice? The touch night light can be, you can actually set a activation impulse. So the first thing I did, I was activating the touch and then I was pressing it. Now, let me just turn on the music. So again, activated it, and now the music's done. Make it a little bit louder. Let me quickly turn it off, just so we don't get copyright straight. And yeah, now as the room was getting darker, automatically the light was turning on, but maybe I want to have a different lighting scene. So again, I can just control it with clicking in the middle of the touches. This one's quite nice. Cool. Now there's one of the features I use every day, and it's the night mode, and I love it to death. Because what it allows you to do is you don't have to worry about the whole state of your house when you go to bed. Because I hate when I lie down to go to sleep and then I forgot, okay, yeah, in the bathroom I forgot to turn off the lights, or maybe the TV's still running. You have to go get up and turn it off. What you now can do is just with a triple click, 2, 3, you activate the night mode, everything goes off, the music stops playing, the shadings will go down, and you can just go to sleep with the good with a good mind, and you know everything's going to turn off. You don't have to get up again.
And you tell your partner, yeah, it's off, don't worry.
Yeah, there's now a period where you could just go to bed and, you know, start sleeping. But they're actually quite nice is that under the beds we have motion sensors, so that after like 2 minutes where you've been into bed and you would step out of the bed, the motion sensors under here would detect you and just turn on a quite nice blue, not very bright light, so that maybe your partner doesn't get woken up by the light, but you still find your way out to the toilet or maybe to the kitchen and stuff like that. So yeah, I really love that, because I don't like to in the middle of the night in the dark just try to find my lamp and stuff like that on my nightstand. I just know, okay, I can just put down my feet and automatically the blue light goes on. I love that feature. Cool. Maybe you want to show off the TV real quick.
Yes, now we want to just relax, watch some TV.
Let me turn on the music real quick before I show it, because it actually plays a role also here.
Okay. Music's good, but now I want to watch TV. And then we will turn it on. That's it. And then maybe you notice now there's no more light, and as well there's no more music. So this is really quite nice. This is our TV watching mode. So now we want to have a bit more light. The shades are down. Now the music's off, so it doesn't interfere with whatever show we're going to watch if we had some signal.
Yeah. Let me turn on the lights again so you guys can see us. Go.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you wonder how we got the TV remote to also control our lights and the music signal. So with our IR control air, we can just read those infrared pulses and also control the whole room with it. And it's quite nice because of course you don't want to have the music running while you're watching TV. So it's just one less action you're gonna have to do. There's this saying that we have like 50,000 actions less you have to do when you have like summertime, and it's just one of those 50,000 things you can forget about. Cool.
Yeah, all right then. I think we can, make our way out.
But also show what you always can do when you leave the room again.
Oh yeah, so you can take a look at this is our other option in this touch standard. And so you notice it has a different bit of a box. We can also take this piece out so we have it on its own. Oops, I've just turned on the music, sorry. But when we leave the room again, we also go choo-choo, and everything's off. And then we notice maybe the lights come on again while we walk through the hallway.
All right.
So maybe we can give you guys a nice look at really kind of what this system looks like using the app.
So first things first, Loxon has of course a very powerful app, but we also go with the saying that you don't really need your phone or necessarily an iPad or anything to control the whole house. Of course, we have our touches, and there we can control the shading, the lighting, the music, and everything you basically on a day-to-day basis want to control. And then for the more in-depth stuff, like maybe intelligent room control, like heating and cooling, you have your app that you can just use and select all the things you want. So if I go to rooms, and also this is in German, but just follow along with me here. We have here, for example, our lounge, and now I could go to our intelligent room controller, and in here I can see, hey, what is my comfort temperature? Is my system at the moment heating or is it cooling? Here I can see it's like the comfort 22.5 degrees, and it's actually 23 degrees inside of the room. So right now we're in the cooling period. The shades are down so that the sun from outside can't heat up the room anymore. It's very good because it's like a passive cooling. Of course, if it's the other way around and it's the cold in the room, but the sun's outside, we're gonna use the sun to warm up the room as well. And yeah, if I go to categories, for example, you can see all my multimedia stuff again. Let me go to the energy. This is also quite nice. We have a photovoltaic, a PV on our showroom. I think the max is 4 kilowatts that we can produce. At the moment, we have 1.3 kilowatts that we're producing. And yeah, the whole consumption we have from the house is now supplied by our own PV system. So yeah, we are pretty economically friendly as well. Can go to a little oversight where we see, for example, today we already produce 22.5 kilowatt hours. Statistics. And here you can see what our production looks like. Earlier today at like 2, we had our peak with 4.5 kilowatts. Yeah. All right. You can set favorites and central functions. This would be, for example, our the fire and water alarm. Here on our functions, we also have our heating schematic. So a lot of people ask me, hey, is this only like what Luxon can do, the graphic base with like rooms and favorites? With our system schematic, you can also use your own plans and your own like heating skits to visualize that. Okay. So as I said, if you want to test it out for yourself, just download it from the App Store, or if you're on Android, on the Play Store, I think it's called. And there's a demo mini server, so you can just go onto the app, connect to this demo mini server, just play around a little bit. Cool.
Yeah. All right then. So then I think this brings to our nice topic of the night, the questions. So maybe you guys have some questions for us about anything you've seen tonight, anything you haven't seen. Just give them away, or any kind of concerns you have or anything. Oh, we already have a question.
Cool. Jan, perfect. Does Luxon work when internet is offline, included scenes and automation routines? Very good question.
Yeah, this is.
So yeah, of course it can happen that either the router goes out, or maybe you just don't want to use or load up anything to the cloud at all. The mini server doesn't require necessarily an internet connection. There are a few features, like for example, if you want to get a look from an external network on your intercom, for example, on the video, then we're going to require an internet connection. But if that's not a topic for you, if you just have your lights controlled, if you have your shading controlled, or maybe your heating, then there's no necessity why you would have to connect the mini server to the internet. Can be controlled completely offline, and yeah, then you're completely on the safe side. So no worries there at all. If you don't want to load anything up to the cloud, mini server doesn't require it. Cool, another question. Can you put maps of the house on the iPad for alarms? I could turn off a PIR for animals, etc. Is that possible for Luxon? That's an interesting thing, yeah.
I haven't heard this one.
So our presence sensors, unfortunately, are presence sensors, so they don't differentiate if there's like a cat running or a big bulldog or a human. It doesn't really matter.
They're all the same.
They're all the same to him, yeah. So this is where it depends a little bit. We can tweak our presence sensors that might be not that sensitive, that like a small cat will be detected. If you have like a hound dog, it will be detected for sure. Putting on maps is like with our system schematic, you know, you see, you can put whatever kind of map you want on there on the system schematic. It doesn't have to be like a heating layout or anything, so you can put that up if you want, yeah. But with the PIR, with the presence sensors, there's no real way to like get around letting the dog activate the light, for example. Yeah. You could theoretically like activate the sleeping mode, while you then deactivate the motion sensors in certain rooms. That of course can be done. So if you have a specific area in the house where the dog is gonna be in the night or during the day, where you just don't where you just want to deactivate it, that again would be possible. We can make an operating mode for that. Yeah. Cool. Will you support new Meta protocols and all compatible products when it's out and of 2021? Build a Meta protocol. To be honest, Meta protocol, don't heard of it yet. But Luxon is expanding into all the different areas. So you're mostly, of course, from Luxon is most familiar with smart home. But we are expanding in industry, we are expanding in all kind of special features. So we've done a lot of different projects. And for this industry project, we have now gotten extra protocols like BACnet is another network protocol that we already integrated. So it's not that far away that we're adding extra protocols. if you're looking for, or if you want us to include that, you can send us a mail as a feature wish, or create a ticket, for example, and yeah, then we'll see if other people also join in with your request. There's a very good chance we include it. But nothing I can tell you as of now, unfortunately. Can I exchange a conventional installation for Loxon? So it actually works both ways, right? Sometimes people go like, okay, when I have Loxon in my home and maybe later on I want to switch something, I'm like stuck with the Loxon systems because I need a specific way to cable it. But Loxon is only a bus system. It's very similar to KNX, for example. You have your cable in there, it goes to all your products, so you have a bus cable in there. So that at any point later on you want to connect something different, that's still possible. And of course, if you have a conventional cabling and you want to go on there or bring a Loxon mini server into that, that's also possible, because we can connect relays for the shading. We can connect our dimmer extension. So these are just dimmable outputs to your maybe 230 volt lightings. And yeah, we pretty much have an extra device, extra product that can handle the conventional side of the installation as well. Of course, we have our Loxon devices like our Nano 2 Relay 3 and stuff, which is Loxon specific, but yeah, the conventional side is no problem. What are the limitations of the systems, if any? Just so you know.
In terms of what you can do and what you cannot do, the limit does not exist for the film. Yeah,
very nice answer.
Yeah, we really can do. There is really no limits, and it's really quite nice. We can do so many things with special applications as well. We have another really fun webinar. This is called our Introduction to Loxon webinar. This is usually also hosted by the magnificent Andreas, and he's able to take any of your kind of requests or any of your kind of crazy requests to see if it's possible to do, and it's always finds a way to do it. So there really is no limit. It's really quite nice for us to get these cool or crazy different requests, and we can do it. This technology has been used in homes is really the kind of where we see it used most, or the topic that we think it's used most, but also the commercial and industrial space is really quite interesting for us. We're in breweries, football stadiums, wineries. This is one of my favorites, but there is no discretion or there's no limits with the technology.
No, perfect. I mean, from the programming side, if that was your question directed to also, Loxon Config, our programming tool, it's also free to download, only on Windows devices. So you can test it out. It's like a PLC. So if you're familiar maybe with Siemens programming, you know, it's just a graphic programming. So it's not really hard, and we have 150 pre-programmed blocks that you can use. And as just said, we kind of always find a way. So there's never really a way or like a point where I said, hey, this is just not able to be programmed in the Loxon config, really. So also for integrating third-party manufactured devices, we have a whole lot of extensions that bring extra interfaces. As I said, a lot of network protocols are going to be able to communicate with us. So yeah, if you have any kind of request or maybe use case that you're wondering, hey, maybe Loxon could do that, you can always get in contact either directly with us or with one of our many Loxon partners in your area that maybe you can have a one-on-one discussion with it. But yeah, I'm going to post my email real quick in the chat. So if you guys have any questions about a use case, you can just write me directly. I'm very happy to talk to you guys. Does Loxon installation require only Loxon products, or is it possible to combine with different brands, like different lighting switches, different window shades, etc.?
Yeah, so this is in German, we have this term of Kluffnen. Loxon is Kluffnen, so it's closed and open. So it's closed in the sense that you can go everything Loxon and you can get all the topics for the home the solution met with Loxon, which is quite nice for the end customer. They only have this one app. Everything is really easily accessible and it's really easy to see and controllable. And also for the installer, they don't need to now deal with all these different manufacturers and okay, is this going to connect with this or will it integrate? So this is really quite nice in this sense, but also it's open to third-party technologies. So this is quite nice for the end customer. Maybe you request to have something, maybe Alexa, for example. This is really something we hear a lot. This is definitely doable. The technician is able to talk the partner through what this would look like, or for the end customer, the partner will do this for you. Yeah, this is really quite nice. For you, when you go with Loxon, this now doesn't mean now for the next 20, 30, 40, maybe I hope 50 years now, you don't need to only have Loxon. You have this option to integrate something else.
Okay. I think.
Yeah.
That wraps it up very well, yeah.
Yeah. All right then. So I think with that, then we will begin our poll. So we will have, this is the nice, also kind of active part of the evening. So we will begin a poll just so we can get a bit more information about who's been here tonight and really kind of what your thoughts are. So maybe you've really enjoyed the evening, like, wow, that Jess and Andreas, they're amazing. Our heads have
Of course
exploded.
I'm gonna think that.
Yeah, we know, okay, we already know that's the case. But maybe we want to know if you are an end customer and you already have an installer, but they are not a Luxon partner. Maybe now you would like us to talk to them, and we can definitely encourage them, or we can definitely talk to them and say, we can get Luxon into this house. Maybe you're an end customer and you have no installer, and we can then connect you with a Luxon partner in your area. Or maybe lastly, I think maybe with a lot of the technical questions, we might have some installers or electricians in the chat. So then we can talk to you about how you can become a Luxon partner. Perfect. So I think the poll has been live now, and you can then say your answer.
So give us some feedback.
We'll get in touch with
if
you
you
guys.
Need some information, just click it. We're gonna get in contact with you. And perfect. Really thankful for letting us know what you think. Yeah. Really appreciate it.
Perfect then. All right then. So it's a lovely evening here in Austria. So we will let you guys all go and enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you are across the world.
Exactly. Guys, have a good one. Good morning, maybe good evening. I don't know where you're from, but yeah, have a good one. Take care, guys.